Welcome to the So Social Radio Show. I'm your host, Richard Martin, along with my amazing co-host,
Cheri Martin, the WCN Interactive Team, and we are business growth, marketing, and social media strategists, helping you to
dream it, plan it, build it, and most importantly, successfully do it.
For growth, prosperity, and success. And each Wednesday at 12 noon on TalkNetworkRadio.com, we share tips and techniques to grow you and your business, plus demystify social media and marketing for you so you can have more fun
and more profits.
Yes, yes, yes. And we're excited today because of the topic of our conversation is all about content marketing. Without that, there is no marketing if you don't have content.
Well, any marketing for that fact, you got to say something, which is content. You got to write it out. Somehow you got to produce it. And
I really do hear that a lot, like when I'm training with a client or we're doing workshops. The challenge that most of us have is what to say or how to say it and, how to really make it valuable. So we're going to be kind of just having a conversation on content marketing today. What is it? Why do we need to do it? And hopefully provide you some good tips and tools that you can take and use for your content marketing today. But we do want to invite you, of course, to connect with us on Facebook at So Social Radio Show. Give us a like there. Let us know what other topics you'd like to hear a conversation on. We're all about education and want to bring you what you want to learn. You can post your questions for today's topic on our So Social Radio Show page. There is a top pin post there, so please do feel free to put your questions there. Or if you do feel so inclined, give us a call. You can call in at 321-806-3159. That's 321-806-3159. And I always take messages through my cell phone and through my private messenger during the show as well. So I'm sure we'll have questions coming at us like we usually do. But we do, of course, want to give a shout out first to our partners and sponsors. So let's do that and get the show on the road here.
They're the reason we can be here.
Mm-hmm.
Toastmaster, a world leader in communications and leadership development. Find out how you can improve your speaking and leadership skills. Visit toastmastersd84.org.
Also, Constant Contact, an award-winning company empowering small businesses and nonprofits to grow and succeed through email marketing. You too can be a marketer with one toolkit, one login. Get a 60-day free trial with Constant Contact. No contracts, no credit card needed, but you can actually get started growing your marketing list if you go to bit.ly/WCN free CTCT. That's bit.ly/WCN FREECTCT.
And everythingbrevard.com, a Brevard County, Florida community website, keeping you up to date with everything that's happening in Brevard. And get your business listing on everythingbrevard.com.
Also, a shout out to our newest partner, which is the Business Acceleration Summit with Shannon and Ari Granich. We are very thankful that they have partnered with us and have allowed us to help promote them, as well as they'll be promoting our So Social Radio Show page and WCN Interactive. But we just attended their 9th Business Acceleration Summit here in the Melbourne, Florida area at the Hilton Rialto, and they're already planning their next one, which is the 10th Business Acceleration Summit, and that is September 28, 29, and 30th this year, 2017. So definitely go to businessaccelerationsummit.com and find out how you can get registered and get more information on that amazing summit.
Fantastic. And we appreciate all our sponsors and everything that they do for us across the board. And so if you're so inclined, just call them and have a talk and see what they can help you with today.
All of our partners and information and contact information is listed on the SoSocialRadioShow.com webpage, so you can get information there.
So we're going to be discussing content.
Disgusting?
Disgusting.
Discussing, having a conversation on content. And I know that what I hear when I'm training is, they want to know all about the features and how to navigate and how to use social media. But that doesn't really matter if you don't know how to or why you're creating content. So,
well, what is content?
Well, I was going to say, let's start off by letting people know what content is, what content marketing is. Basically it is a marketing technique of just creating and distributing valuable, which is a key word there, and relevant and consistent information to those that you want to attract, whether it's a client, a prospective client, or an influencer, someone that you really would like to attract to you and hopefully acquire and start developing a relationship with. So that's what content does. It draws people to you as long as it's resonating with them.
Right. And what forms does content come in?
Oh, there's so many. And we're going to talk a lot about the different examples of all the different types of content. But one of them, of course, is just basically writing words, putting a message out there on your social platforms. That's content. Putting a picture out, even a video. Those are all different forms of content. And we're going to go into each one of those and more in some great detail today. But when you're thinking of content, what do you think holds people back from actually writing content or creating content? What do you think challenges them?
Well, I think it's an internal process with our own head, and we tend to compare ourselves with other people that are putting content up there, and we wonder, am I as good as they are? And of course, that's also a false narrative that's out there, because everybody has their own perspective. We can be talking about the same thing, and you'll come at it from your point of view. I'll come at it from my point of view, and you have to let it ride along that. Exactly.
And but why do I really need to use it? I mean, why do I need to do it as a small business person, an entrepreneur, or even a large company? Why do I need to develop content?
Okay. Well, let me break it down to one of the things that we all do, and that's going to networking events. You go to networking events and you see people, and you get up there, you say hi to somebody, and then what do? Okay, you're writing a Facebook or a LinkedIn post. You're up at the keyboard. You're ready to type. What are you going to type in? And all along, it doesn't matter whether it's print, audio, video, what channels you're using on putting that together. So, the thing is, it's all about, we have to communicate. We have to get our message out there so that people know who we are.
Well, and that's well said, Richard. In fact, when I think of content, I think of, how am I going to attract the right client to me if I don't give them information about how I can serve them, how I can help them? And that's basically what, to me, content is. It's a message. And one of the things we tend to do, not just as marketers, but any business person, we tend to get in our own way. We overthink it. We feel that we know what we want to say, but we forget to listen to what others want us to share, what others want to hear from us. So it's important to ask your questions. I mean, I always say, if you have a lot of frequently asked questions coming at you from your clients, prospects, possibly people within your leads or referral groups, that's a great place to start. Write those frequently asked questions down, like in a notebook, and start creating content from there. It could go into a blog. It could help you do a live video. It could also help you create an image, which we call memes, which then we put a little quote or some kind of a tip on that image and we send that out. That's all content. But it also helps us. Maybe we have 5 tips that we want to share with our audience, so to help them and to guide them in a direction where they can then maybe do something that would make their business grow or use our product or whatever it is that we are promoting. With those tips, you don't have to put them all out at once. You can do one at a time. That's like 5 tweets. It could be a blog. You could blog about it and then take that blog and break it down. That's one of the easiest ways to really develop content. Don't sit there and think you have to sit down and write and write and write, because that's what stops people. That's that fear. Oh my gosh, I don't really know how to write. I don't like to write. I don't feel I can write. So then they don't create content. But if you have, as I said, those questions that are constantly asked of you or your industry or something that's trending, that's where you start. And guess what? You don't have to create your own. You can actually research and find other people writing about that content that you can then share with your audience. And that helps your audience then kind of breathe a little easier, that they don't have to go do that research. They're like, okay, Cheri's going to do that, so I'm just going to follow Cheri on social media because she's going to put down what's the latest and greatest whatever. And then they can go work on what they do best, which is their business. So what I like to do is I'll share a formula. I know I've shared it with a lot of our workshop attendees. I also believe have shared it a couple of times on our radio show. But one of the easiest ways when you think of content is to think of a formula. And what I mean by that is it's a breakdown of content, because we tend to think that, oh my gosh, I've got to put stuff up there to sell them. You know, yes, we want to make money. We all want to make money in our business, and we all want to have people buy from us so that we can serve them and hopefully, make an impact and, make a difference in someone's life, whether it's our product or service. However, hopefully this little formula, when it comes to social media, will help you vary your content so that you will get better engagement, because basically that's why we want to have content. We want a conversation. Without a conversation, we're speaking to ourselves. That's why we invite anyone that would like to hear more information about how or have questions about content to give us a call at 321-806-3159. Or again, come over to the So Social Radio Show page on Facebook, and on the top pin post, write a question there right on in the comments section. But in this formula, how you can really look at changing up your content, it's called the 50-30-20 formula. And basically 50%, that's 50% of your content should be interesting and entertaining. Now, what type of content would that be, Richard? Interesting and entertaining.
It can be anything that happens in your life. You go to an event, you go networking, you meet somebody at the pub, and they have an interesting take on a particular a topic. All of this is content, and I think a lot of us, including me, we overthink content. We have this mentality. Well, I'm going to be judged in what I put out there, and yes, you are, but no, you're really not on that side of it, because the more you do it, the more comfortable you get. Mm-hmm. The more comfortable you get, the more fun it is. The more fun it is, then you have an opportunity to maybe make a little bit of money off of your content by doing blogs and other things along those lines. So there's a myriad of reasons why, but you have to pick the one that's closest and nearest and dearest to your own heart, mm-hmm. so you can express it from your soul. Well,
and again, we don't want to, it can seem very daunting, and it can seem like a lot of work when we're creating content. But when you're thinking through about having a conversation, think about how you talk to somebody face to face. And what type of questions are they asking? That's the type of content that you're writing down and then posting out on social media. And people love to talk about themselves. So that's why we have to remember that it's important to not write or post what we want, but what that end user that we are hoping to attract would want. We have to understand who our audience is. Who is that who that we want to attract, who we want to have a conversation with, as well as what is their need? What does my product or service solve? What is it that why do people want to use my products or services? And that's the question you have to ask yourself, because that's the type of people you're looking to attract. And you're going to be doing that, again, by putting out, I don't know, some inspirational quotes, possibly interesting industry facts. Again, what's trending within your industry. And also, people want to know what's happening within your business. So take some fun photos of the inside of your store, or if you work out of your home, perhaps you're at an event. Take pictures of what's happening and show them how especially if you're going to an industry event. Take pictures of being there and who you're meeting, or maybe do a video, a Facebook Live of some sort. Interview people there. Maybe you're going to meet a speaker and you take a picture of yourself with that speaker. Let people know, because then they're like, oh, wow, they're really taking time to continue with their knowledge, and they're getting better and better, so that I can get better and better, because they're going to help me, whether it's a product or service. So all of these things are interesting and entertaining. I mean, one of the things we did, and I hear this a lot. Well, why would I want to put something fun, like an image of an animal or a baby or something on my Facebook page and my business page? What's that got to do with business? Well, again, and we all know that images and videos is the main type of postings, or the main type of content that gets the most shares. So we've got to get creative. Well, a couple of things we've done along the years, but one of them specifically was a few years ago. You took me for my birthday up on the biplane here along our Space Coast, and we took videos of us, walking around the plane and getting on, and some of the images we took shots up there, photo shots and such. We shared that on our Facebook page. And actually, I believe Mark actually videotaped us up there, the pilot of the biplane there, and he sent us the video. When we put that on our Facebook business page, it drew in so much engagement, so much conversation, so many people that had not maybe posted or commented or shared or anything prior, because again, they could relate to the fun that we were having, and they got to know us a little bit better. And all of a sudden, then they started commenting and engaging more on information I posted.
Exactly. It's all about the know, like, and trust factor, and putting it all together there. But, you come back, nobody's youer than you. So let yourself come through. Let yourself be the natural person that you are. Mm-hmm. Relax and have fun with it. And I know sometimes that's fun because we're all worried about somebody judging us or somebody saying something about us. But, if somebody does, the last thing you want to do is get mad and upset and just put a post out there that you're just raking them over the coals, because then you're putting yourself at their level or even under their level.
Well, what happens if a post that you do post tends to rub people the wrong way? What do you do?
Well, if they comment on it, then answer the comment. Explain why you posted it the way you posted, or turn around. If it really was a mistake, then just turn around and say, hey, I'm sorry. I forgot. I didn't understand.
But definitely address it. Don't just delete it.
No, because if you delete it, they're coming back at you with a vengeance.
Oh, no.
Really. And, if it was a critical mistake, it can get really nasty really quick. But the whole thing is, in turning this whole thing around, it is an opportunity to create a brand for yourself. And that's what's important. So people know you for who you are, what you do, and what you care about. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's the important side of what's there.
Well, before I go into the 30% of what content is in this formula, because again, the 50% is interesting and entertaining content. On that note about talking about if you put a post up and it really did rub people the wrong way, how you should react. What happens if because again, I hear the reason some people don't get on social media is they're afraid that somebody might say something bad about them or get negative. How would you address if somebody on your social site, say Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, put something bad about you? How would you react to that?
Well, first of all, I would not delete it, number one, because I've already said what would happen if you do that. The other thing is I would address it. I would ask him right out in public, what did I do to offend you, or what did I do to upset you, and how can I make it right for you on that? If you keep the public relations and that going properly, you can turn the whole conversation around. First of all, if you guys work it out, both of you are seen as reasonable. There's none of us that haven't had disagreements with people. So the other side of the equation is if they don't and you're trying to be as accommodating as possible, the people reading this are going to see it, they're going to understand it, and they're going to go, well, Richard, the guy you're having this debate with is just being ridiculous. You can't go any farther. So it's all about putting yourself in the position where you're going to be on top. You're going to be the one that wins or co-wins in the whole situation. But like you said, the last thing, don't delete it.
Very good advice there, because we've had to handle that for some of our clients, and we've been able and have managed to get through some of that, questionable whether our client was going to lose a customer or not, but we were able to help them settle the matter. And again, always understand that you can't please everybody, but what you really want to do when you're thinking of content, this is part of your social media. I mean, like I said, without content, you have no social media postings, you have no marketing. So it's all a part. It's a piece of social media. So you have to learn how to really engage and know what I guess you could say your audience is expecting from you. What are they needing? They want to be helped. So that's where the 30% of the formula comes in. You want to be posting informative and resourceful information. And what I mean by that is when you share information that to your community that they can use to get their questions answered, so that they don't have to take the time out of their day to go, again, do some Google search or a YouTube search or a Bing search, whatever. If you are the one that's putting that content into one area that they know that they can come to and do a search, then they're going to be very, very thankful. Facebook groups are phenomenal for that, to really build a tribe or a community that wants to know more information on a specific topic, because that's what the group is. It's a group of like-minded individuals that are interested in basically the same type of information. And if you can get one started and be the administrator of that group, you then can, first of all, you can direct the conversation. You can also manage that conversation, but you can make sure that you're putting out information that they know they can come to this one spot and get the answers, or ask you and you'll go find the information for them if it's real, along that way. So that useful and informative information, resourceful, I should say, information is going to really be a good service that you can provide to those that you want to attract. And these could be tips, industry trends, statistics, possibly maybe, for realtors. What's happening with housing today, or, why is rent so much more expensive than buying today? Things like that. If you can give them sources that they can view, they don't have to do that research, and they really are thankful and appreciative. So again, that's the 30% of the content, in the formula.
With all the video being the rage that's out there, whether it's Facebook Live, whether it's YouTube, whether it's any of the other sources that are out there. Now, is that content? When I put something up on YouTube or Facebook Live or Twitter and on those, are they all the same?
That is an example of content, yes, because again, you're getting a message. When you're putting a message out there, that's content. It does not matter whether it's in Word or if it's, when you're writing it out it could be on a flyer. It could be on a direct mail piece. That's all content. So yes, video. Facebook Live has just taken everybody by storm, and a lot of people are doing it. There are some that are being very successful with it. Then we do see, unfortunately, some, and I probably have been very guilty of it when I first started, because we all wanted to try it, of just putting out fluff. In other words, just to say, I did Facebook Live. But if you can actually do a Facebook Live and have an objective, because that's the purpose. When you're developing content, you have to have a strategy. an objective of what you want to gain from that. What is the end result that you want to have happen when you put information out there? It isn't just to put it out there, because that takes a lot of time. And yes, it is a lot of work. So you want it to start actually producing for you. So you have to think through, like on a Facebook Live, keep it very focused. Now, I know we did a Facebook Live up here on our radio show before, and it's a long, and we had some viewers, and we've had people come watch it afterwards. But the best thing to do when you're doing a Facebook Live is to take that and save it. And even on Snapchat or Periscope, those do just disappear after they don't stay there. You want to make sure you save them. Save those recordings so that you can then upload them to
YouTube.
Why?
Google owns YouTube. Every video is converted to text.
Also, where do people go look for you if they're going to search and want to get more information about you, your product, your service? Where do they go?
Most people, 80%, the last I heard, go to Google.
Yeah. So it's going to show up in the search engines if you are taking that. Whereas if it's within the actual platform, like Facebook, Snapchat, Periscope, they're not going to see that register in Google. But if you've got it up on YouTube.
Exactly. The few people that are know you or just wander by your site while you're doing a Facebook Live or something like that, they'll see you, but you're not going to have a lot of people, even if you promote it. But if you get it up on YouTube and Google indexes it from up there, now you have another resource coming back to you. Mm-hmm. And Google likes that as far as everything you have being found.
Well, I know I did just have a question that came in wanting to know what type of content is trending now. And we were basically just talking about that. The video. I mean, live video is trending. That is the type of content that's going to get you the largest audience, the most shares, as well as likes and comments. And what you want to make sure you're doing, as I said, when you're putting it out on any of the platform, any video type of information, you want to make sure that it is it's to the point. It's not just dragging on. You cannot believe how many, I'm on YouTube a lot. I follow a lot of different people, businesses, individuals, whatever, on YouTube, and I'll get on a YouTube video. And if it doesn't catch my attention in the first 30 seconds, I'm gone.
Well, it's the same thing we were talking about with text. You've got to have that content where it's there. You've got to have that upfront pop where you got their attention, mm-hmm. and you've got them hooked.
Yeah, I mean, all content should hook them in. And all content should have, as I said, an objective, a call to action of some sort, so that you are taking them elsewhere to then have a further conversation with them, or perhaps maybe even just taking them to give them a free gift. And that gift is content. It could be an ebook. It could be a video series. It could be a white paper. One of the things that we provide when people sign up for our marketing list is we give them 40 conversation starters. Now, these conversation starters can be generic. They're not industry specific, so you can take them. And as I tell people, like in our workshops, you take these conversation starters and you adapt them to the platform you're using. You adapt them to your industry, but at least it gives you some ideas, because that's what people are hung up on. Oh my gosh, I don't know what to post. So they don't post. And then what happens when they don't post? When
you don't post, nobody knows you're there. And if nobody's stopping by to see you, where are you going with Facebook? Facebook's going to push you way, way, way down the list, because they want people up at the top of their list that are posting content, mm-hmm. that are doing some stuff, that are having fun out there. And that's what the whole thing is about. It's communications. It's how do I have an emotional impact on the person I'm speaking to, and me accepting what the person says and allowing them inside me. So that way we're both connected emotionally, and we can pay attention and interpret the words or readings or video that we're interacting with.
Oh, very much so. And, when I am working with someone that's maybe they've tried social media, I'm going to say Facebook, and they just don't really enjoy it. They just feel it takes too much of their time. And again, it's because they're just, they're struggling with what to post and how to communicate, and they're not getting anybody having a conversation with them, which is basically the engaging. That's the end result. We want to have a conversation with people, and not all posts are going to create that conversation. That's why you want to make sure that you add a link, maybe where they can go and learn more about you. Take them to your website, take them to a blog, take them to an e-commerce site, take them to a landing page where they can download put their email in and download that free gift, and then get into what we call the funnel system. That's what we want to think about. That's part of the conversation. It may not always just be comments within the thread of a post. So there's all sorts of ways to get that engagement. But yes, that's the end result that we want, that we're striving for. And when I'm working with someone that says, what do you mean I got to post every day? Well, you need to be somewhere every day on with your marketing. Your marketing needs to be out there every single day. So you have to have a marketing calendar. Maybe one time a month you're going to do a blog. Maybe you're going to put out a newsletter once a month. Perhaps you have Facebook, you have Instagram, and you have LinkedIn. So you want to make sure that you're varying your posts. And yes, you can repurpose them, meaning you can use a post you put on Facebook and then take that post and put it on LinkedIn. But you have to remember that you're going to have to change up a little bit of the way the post is read, because every social site has its own personality. On Instagram, you can get by with, again, kind of very short little message like you do on Twitter with hashtags. The hashtag is the word or group of words with the pound sign in front of it, and that's going to sort that conversation so more people looking for that key hashtag or keyword will see that in a thread of conversation within Instagram specifically and Twitter. It also happens on Facebook, but it's more used more on your Instagram and your Twitter. But so you can actually take something and schedule it. There's Hootsuite, which is a great dashboard, and you can use a free version. That's HOOTSUITE.com. You can actually set up some platforms and then schedule posts and then have them just go out, and that way you're not on it every single day as well. But on Facebook, I highly recommend on your business page, you use the scheduler that's on the business page. And the reason for that is that Facebook does not play nice with third-party apps. Now, they do play nice with Instagram because they own Instagram.
No, they don't play nice with third-party apps at all.
But you can use Hootsuite to post on your personal timeline or in any groups and such as well, because that's, it's going to go right in there. So definitely these are some tools that you can use to help yourself. If you need any other help, WCN Interactive. I'm a social media trainer. We've been doing online marketing since 1998, and I've been training with social media since 2010. I think my very first client, I did a blog for them. I set the blog up. I charged $49. I think back about those days and I'm thinking, oh my gosh. But I have group training. I also offer corporate training, individual group training up to 5 people. It's like in my home, actually. I do corporate training where I can come into the corporate offices. I also do personal training. I just trained with a client today on the phone, and I have another one I've scheduled to do a Zoom training next week. So it doesn't always have to be in person. So if you're not here in the Brevard County area and you want to know more, definitely go to my WCN Interactive, WCNinteractive.com, and on the contact form, sign up for a free consultation. And Richard and I can talk to you. Richard does a lot of training with how to use your brand, use your personal brand on social media.
The brand YOU.
Exactly. It definitely needs to be that way. But let's get to the third part of the formula. The 50% is content that's interesting and entertaining. 30% is the content that's informative and resourceful. Now, 20%, everybody take a deep breath and relax. This is where you can actually be promotional and promote about you. However, you have to be careful so that you're not being too salesy.
I've coined a word called unselling on that, and that's where you're enticing. You're teasing them. You're putting information out there to get them to interact with you, so that they get comfortable enough that they're ready to hit that buy now button, or click over to your website and hit the buy now button wherever it resides. But it's not that you can't sell, because you can sell, but you have to do it in the proper manner. It's a social site, not a sales site. This isn't. What's the one site that they sell all that used stuff on?
eBay.
eBay. It's not an eBay.
Well,
but you can do it subtly.
Okay, give me an example of how I would sell subtly.
Okay, you've got one of your famous social media training classes coming up. Mm-hmm. So you start talking a couple of weeks before that about all the stuff that you can do on social media. You can do this on Facebook, you can do this on LinkedIn, you do your YouTube videos, your Twitters, all of these things that come along, and you get people interested in wanting to know how they can do this type of stuff. And as they get more interest, the people that will rise to the top that are willing to pay your fee, whether it's a little or a lot, doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. There's people of the whole spectrum. They will begin to interact with you. They're going to ask a question. Well, Cheri, is your training on social media, will it cover the content and how I post the content, or when I post the content? So, and those are the people that you want to flag and really bring them in.
I love that. So you're actually having a conversation and then directing them to, basically what you want to do is, you want to make sure that when you're posting anything that you, and I'm going to repeat this, I've said it a couple times, they have that objective. What is it that I want to gain from this? We all want to gain something. Otherwise, why do it? We're in business. But I also know that I want to make a difference with everyone that I meet, everyone that I work with. I also want to serve others. So when I'm focusing on my products or services, what I focus on is, again, finding out what they want to learn if they were going to be at a Facebook marketing class. What is it that they really want to, what's their takeaway? What is that one takeaway they really want to walk away with? Because I always tell everyone that in our trainings, they're always going to have a takeaway. Even if it's a complimentary training that we do around in the area here at the different chambers or the SCORE events or the SBDC, we provide some takeaways. But those takeaways, if they don't know the strategy or they don't know how to develop the content, then they're really not going to be able to take action. So I want to make sure that they know that we're here to help them do more, because there's so many pieces of this that it can be very, very confusing. And that's why people stop short. And that's why they don't move forward, or their business, or they stop doing it. And then they tell me, that didn't work. I don't do Facebook. It doesn't work. I don't do Facebook ads. I've never had an ad work. And it's because they hear that they have to do it. They might go to a webinar that provides them some free information, or a workshop that gives them some free information. That's all great information, but it doesn't give them all the necessary steps. They have to take action by learning more. My gosh, Richard, look how we have continued with our education. I was talking to our producer here, to Jeff, talking to him about, I sometimes don't even feel I can sleep at night because there's so many changes happening within social media. It's hard to keep up with every single site. There's no way I can. I have to make sure that I know what I do best, and that's the information that I share with my clients and how they can do that best, and so they can then continue working their business, which of course that is what they really excel in.
Exactly, and it is one of the challenges is social media is always changing. One of the fun things about social media is it's always changing. And so it's two ends of the same stick. I like that they're evolving. I like that all these sites out there, they're trying to get better within their own sphere of influence at what they do. So you look at all of this that happens out there, and it's just amazing, the not just the technology, the thought that people go through in doing this. A lot of the millennials are really great at posting, and they're quick and they're fast, and they got all these new sites down. Where do the millennials need help? monetizing it. Where do we that are a little more seasoned, what do we need? We know how to monetize it. We just don't know enough about the sites. So we can learn together or create partnerships together where we can all benefit ourselves.
And I always say learning the sites might seem overwhelming. And that's what I hear. However, it really isn't understanding and learning the sites, because it just takes you some time to get on them. One of the individuals I was training this morning was on the constant contact email marketing, and we were on the phone just going through it, and it's like, she goes, well, what's my homework? And I said, what your homework is, you got to go play. You have to go play. Take a template, practice doing the drop and drag, practice. And that's what you have to do on social media. So like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, every one of them. You have to get on there and just start clicking buttons around and figure out where everything is, because I can train you today and it might be different tomorrow. So what I focus on is really helping our clients understand how to develop content so that you can have better communication or conversation and get better engagement, so that conversation can go somewhere and help you grow your business. Because that's what makes social media work, is, again, having people getting to know you. You want to make sure that you're attracting, engaging, and you are providing share-worthy information to your audience. So again, doing content marketing is not a maybe.
You got to put something up there. Whatever you put up there is content.
It's a must do. Exactly. And so
we had a question come up there.
Okay.
Where do I start? That's a really great question. And first of all, you start wherever you are. Don't judge yourself. Okay. Just start creating content. Write a sentence. Put a phrase up there. Put a like, start commenting on other sites. And the more you do all of this, the more comfortable you will get. And the more people that see you, then the more people will engage with you. Mm-hmm. It's a process. It's not overnight. It may take 6 months or so to get it done. But the engagement, the people coming back to you and liking, the comments that come back in to you, that's how you know it's working. Now, there's a long ways from working to monetizing, but it's all the same process, because once they start commenting, they have a little bit of interest in you, and they keep going, and they go from the like to the commenting. They're building that trust. They want to start a relationship with you in there. They want to go beyond that, and it doesn't matter. It's video. They still comment on the video. You go to YouTube, you got comment locations that are in there. So when you do it, and when you have a large enough audience, when you have enough people around you that know, like, and trust you, they will find that buy now button. And the more that find the buy now button and then come back to social media and say, Cheri's training was just awesome, man. I learned so much. Now, that gives us all good goosies, okay? But what is it doing to everybody else that's out there looking at it?
And
that's what it is. And that's where the monetization starts.
Exactly. And I will tell you, one of the key things that I do, and I teach my clients to do, when you have people that go out and shout on any of the social media platforms and give a shout out about you or a testimonial, go do a screen capture of that and put it in a file. Because then you want to take that and you can create content from that. That way you're not boasting about yourself, or you're not just writing a testimonial out. You're actually going to take that screenshot and produce an image from it with it, and then put that image either on your website or on your blog, or put it out on Pinterest, or put it on one of your, LinkedIn or Facebook, because now people see that somebody actually did that. So you're actually doing a little bit of boasting, but yet you're also saying thank you, and you're bringing attention to that person. And then what I will do a link to their website so that I'm helping promote them as well. So you're giving them some content that they can now use. There's so many different strategies that I love, and you have to have a content marketing strategy as you do within your social media strategy or your marketing strategy or your business strategy. You have to have a plan so that you are actually getting results, because if you just throw it out there, you have no idea whether it works or not. And there are analytics that you can actually go in the back of your platforms, like on your Twitter page. You can see how much of a reach you had, how much of an engagement or retweet or whatever. And no, it doesn't it doesn't happen overnight. It does take time. But ask yourself, if you send out a direct mail piece, how do you know if that's working or not? The only way I would know if I sent out a direct mail piece is if I told them they had to bring that in with a coupon, or if when they called my office, I asked exactly, how did you hear about us? You have to put in a system where you're monitoring what is working and what is not. And then, you know what's great about online marketing? If it's not working, you tweak it, you change it. You can't do that if you put a print advertisement out there. It may take 3 months to get that, first of all, to see if it's even working, and then another 3 months to maybe get it changed. And that is very costly. So again, that's why I just so much love social media marketing. And one of the questions that just came in is, kind of some of our clients, what successes that they had. And one of them, I just want to share. They're a local business here, and they're a caterer. They actually had been using social media, but all they were doing was talking about themselves, just posting information about, their food looks wonderful and everything, but it was like me, right? And again, when I showed them the importance of understanding how it isn't all about you, but it is all about you. In other words, what I'm saying is, when I broke that formula down and started having them take some of that content and make it entertaining, changing the way their verbiage was, so it was more entertaining.
You're modifying their
and
content.
Interesting, modifying it. Also showing them how to maybe give some tips on how to plan their next event. If someone was doing a do-it-yourself party or whatever, an event, how they could, tips that they need to look for when they're entertaining. And then all of a sudden, when they're being promotional, they're not being promotional and saying, hire me for your next party, whatever. They were being promotional by showing actual pictures of events, weddings, things that they did, and would put down that, we can help you here too, or whatever. It was just a subtle way, and then directing them to the website or directing them to sign up for their email, they use a constant contact as well.
And now they're so busy, they don't know what to do.
I haven't seen them around lately. They're so busy, and they've added employees and things like that. So it's all about understanding not so much in how to use all the features in these social sites, but how to develop content. So again, I'm going to repeat that formula real quick. We're getting down to the last couple minutes, but it's 50, 30, 20. 50% of your content needs to be interesting and entertaining. 30% of your content needs to be resourceful, informative, and then 20% can be promotional and be about you. And it could just be about a birthday party celebration in your office. That's about your business, etc. So you just have to do it. Just do it.
Absolutely so. And for us, this show is content, because when Jeff gets it posted, we'll get the link, and it will be on our website or maybe our social media
podcast.
And all of a sudden, there's more information. Now, for the people that weren't able to be here with us live, now the people later on this afternoon or this evening will be able to click in and listen to it at that point in time. So it's all there. There is no great content. There is no bad content. Content is only related to the individual that's reading its interpretation of that.
Love how you just said that. That's why you have to know who you want to attract. Who do you want to do business with, or have them do business with you? Oh my gosh, that was very well said.
Absolutely. And when we speak, we all have predetermined people that will like us by our tonality and the verbiage we use. Oh, my goodness.
Richard, this is an awesome show. I love this topic. You know me. This is my passion. This is what I love to share with my clients and help my clients. If you want to, again, have a free consult with Richard or myself, go to WCNinteractive.com, click on the Contact Us, or there's an image of a free consult there on all the pages there. Let us know how we can help you. And let's just have a conversation. Come to the So Social Radio Show on Facebook and write on our timeline. Let us know, again, maybe some of the challenges or struggles you're having with any of this information that we share on our radio show. But it is that time. We need to wish everybody a great social week.
I can't believe it's over, but it's going to be a fantastic week, and just have a great time out there. Enjoy yourself and have a fantastic week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.